This week in the Complaint Corner, Dora the Explorer, Doctor Who, and some other shit. This is Critically Complained. Hi, I'm Adam, and this is Steve, and first, we're talking about X-23. So, for those of you who have not seen Logan, like
Me.
Steve, you
I'm
bastard.
sorry, Adam. I forgot.
X-23 was in Logan, and she was great. She did a phenomenal job. I love Logan, and I love X-23 in Logan. And now we're going to get an X-23 spin-off film from the director of Logan. It's going to be written by James Mangold, who directed Logan. There is no word yet if the girl who played X-23, whose name I can't remember, will come back to play. I hope she will, because she did such a good job. But they are in the process of making the film, and I'm really, really excited about that. Do you have anything to say about it, Steve?
Well, since I didn't see the movie, I don't have a whole lot to say, but I
really hate
understand
you.
that it was good, so that's good to hear, I guess.
I'm really I have the Blu-ray. I can see it from where I'm sitting right now, and I kind of want to like go and find you and make you watch this film, but I don't have the time to do that. But I would love to do that because you have got to see Logan. It's so good.
I don't know, man. I'm really busy rewatching animes, so I don't really have time for that whole business.
Rewatching, you bastard! Oh my god. Okay,
Adam,
but,
if you watch them and you see things you didn't see the first time, Adam, it's more important than Logan.
No, it's not. But I really like X-23. She's actually one of the few characters I have read comics of. Not a lot, only like a few, but I have read a few and I really liked them. Like I've always liked like female Wolverine that has claws coming out of her feet, like and also her hands. Like that shit's just awesome. Like I mean, I'm easy to please. What can I say?
Yeah, apparently.
I like
I mean, you liked
me
Rogue
some.
One, so
I did like Rogue One, and and screw you, Steve. I still say that we're never going to agree on Rogue One. We're never, ever going to agree on it.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you think Adam is stupid for liking Rogue One.
Okay,
or comment, like, and
subscribe
subscribe if you think that I'm stupid.
I didn't say that Rogue One was the best Star Wars film ever. I still think it's worse than all of the original trilogy. I just think it's okay. I liked it. It was fine. Like that's it. That's all I feel about it. And you're just like, how dare you? It was an insult to my eyes. I want the time I spent watching Rogue One back,
Adam,
so I can continue rewatching
Everything you're
anime.
saying is true. Everything you're saying is true. But let's get back to Logan.
You're right.
So yeah, Logan
X-23
was a great movie, I hear.
Logan was a great movie, and it was a very, very emotional roller coaster of a film.
And it did that thing that Terminator did, where it had a young version of Wolverine fighting an older version of Wolverine, I think.
But it did a really good job. Like you could not tell that it was like the same actor. Like I mean, obviously you could tell it was the same person, but you couldn't tell that like it was all CGI together or whatever. Like it was so well done.
Well, I mean, I could, but I see Liam. I almost said Liam Neeson.
You say what?
Never mind. I'm just gonna abandon that thought entirely. I said the wrong actor, and now I'm embarrassed, so I'm just gonna keep going. Never mind.
Okay. But
Oof.
anyway, X-23 spin-off film. I give 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs way up. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, you do it 11.
She was a huge standout character in Logan, and I can't wait to see more of her. And please, dear God, bring back the actress. She did such a good job. Do not
It was the
make me
girl from Stranger Things, right?
No, it was not. It was someone else.
Was it not? Who am I thinking
No,
of?
the girl from Stranger Things has never been in a film. So the first role that the girl from Stranger Things ever had was in Stranger Things, and the first
Well,
role.
who was the kid in
Logan, as I was trying to finish my sentence, the girl who played X-23, that was also the first role she ever had. That was her premiere. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she had never been in a film before. That was her first role, and she did so good. And I want more with her specifically. Give me more. I'm easy to please. Just ask Steve. Oh my god.
Wow.
So, now next up, we mentioned this in our opening. This is quite possibly the greatest news story that I've ever had the chance to talk about.
This collection of words is a very special thing.
I nearly cried. I'm tearing up right now because this kind of a story doesn't come around very often, and it's beautiful to see. So I have to say it. This is an honor and a privilege. So Dora the Explorer. Excuse me, I didn't say this correctly. A Dora the Explorer live-action film is in the works, and it will be produced by Michael Bay.
You know, of Transformers and Ninja Turtles
Transformers
fame.
and Ninja Turtles fame and Bad Boys and what is that? Pearl Harbor. Why do I know so many Michael
I don't know.
Bay films?
I would have stopped at those ones. But
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so let me say that again so you can fully understand what we're talking about here. A Dora the Explorer live action film is being made and is being produced by Michael Bay. That is the funniest thing. If you're not laughing right now, you don't understand what this is. Is Dora going to be played by a just-turned 18-year-old girl whose midriff is constantly showing throughout the film? Is that going to be what happens?
Can you find the Decepticon? Bueno!
Is Dora going to be dating, like, a 40-year-old man, and are they then going to have a conversation? Okay, no,
it's going to be Handy Manny, first of all.
Oh.
Or that kid with the orange backpack from the Dora spinoff. I don't remember what that kid's name was. Diego. It was Diego. Go, Diego, go.
No. That's the thing, though. That's her cousin.
Oh, all right. Well, never mind.
Yeah,
then I don't.
They can't do that. I mean,
okay.
I as a part of this, they did mention that the current plan is to have her be moving to Los Angeles to live with her cousin Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, not only is Dora no longer in a fantasy world with talking blue cows and thieving foxes, but you're going to put her in actual real-world L.A., the crimiest world, or the crimiest city on Earth.
Yeah. And it's what we've always wanted. It's the gritty Dora the Explorer.
I didn't know that I
reboot.
wanted it. I hope Dora's backpack has shit like machine guns in it then. Backpack. Yay! My God.
I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map! Like, fuck this. Oh my God.
You
can't do this. No, all joking aside, this is such a bad idea. You can't do this. You cannot take a fucking animated show that is made for, like, 5-year-olds and give it a gritty reboot in LA. You don't get the who gave you the rights to this? How could anyone?
What gives you the right?
How could anyone at any point?
What kind of
God
idea would let this happen?
There were people who had to say yes. Let's do that. Like many people had to approve this idea and say, let's go forward with this. Let's get this one asshole to start writing it.
All right, okay, hang on. All kidding aside, let's take a breath and roll back. We don't know for a fact that it's a gritty reimagining of Dora the goddamn Explorer.
Yeah, fine. We don't know that it's a gritty reimagining.
But I like to think that it is.
But we do know that it's in live action, that it's produced by Michael Bay, and it's set in L.A. That really gives me all the information I need to know.
You know.
Okay, even if it's not super gritty, even if they are aiming it for children, it's still set in the real world, which is a stupid idea. And if you're gonna make a Dora the Explorer movie, there's really no reason not to make it an animated film.
Yeah, seriously.
There's no reason to make it. Who the fuck are you gonna cast Dora as? Are you going to make her a child, or are you really going to sexualize
Is she gonna have a monkey?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is she gonna have a monkey?
Swipe or no swiping?
Is she gonna
he's
have
got a gun.
Is she? Yeah. Is she? Yeah. What about the Swiper? Is he just gonna be a thief? Just a thief living in L.A. Who
like the wet bandits from fucking Home Alone?
Is she going to be like a child detective whose family
Pikachu?
jewels were her family jewels were stolen by an evil thief by the name of Swiper, and she's traveled to L.A. to try to track him down and clear her family's name?
Oh my god, can we actually make that a movie, please?
Oh my god! There's so many bad ideas
I would watch
running
the
through
shit
my
out
head.
of Dora goes to L.A. to steal back the family jewels. Oh, dude, we can make it. Okay, all right, new idea. Scrap the whole thing. Here's what's gonna be. It's gonna be a heist movie with Dora, right? Okay, so
Sure,
Manny's
yeah.
gonna be there, right? He's gonna be the wheel man or the getaway guy because he got all those cars and gadgets and shit. And Handy Manny's gonna be there. He's gonna be like he's gonna be the computer guy in the chair, right? Handy Manny for sure. Bob the Builder's gonna be there. He's the detonator guy. He's the one that blows open the bank wall or whatever, right? Okay.
God.
There we go. That's the movie. Boom.
This is such a stupid idea. I can't even like handle the
And the
amount
Teletubbies
of...
are the fall guy. All four of them.
Actually, don't even say that. Don't let the words pass your lips. You know they're gonna make a Teletubbies movie. You know it's gonna happen. Like, God damn it.
Teletubbies hit New York.
Ah!
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my god, this is such a stupid thing.
Oh my god.
I want to like be like the only way that this could work, but that's not true. There is no way this could work.
No.
This is a horrendously bad idea.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, remember what was it that we gave the gold star of like the worst idea
Oh,
ever to?
the Dumbass Ambassador Award.
Yes, that's it. The dumbass what was that for? Oh, that was for the Joker film.
Yes.
How they were making 2 Joker movies. Yeah. This totally takes the cake.
Yeah.
This is the new reigning champion, the current holder of the Dumbass Ambassador Award. I don't think anything could top this. A live action Dora the Explorer film produced by Michael
we didn't
Bay.
think anybody
Come
was
on.
gonna top the Joker thing either, but you just give it time. Movies are great about disappointing us. Just give it some time.
Come on, though. Okay, so yes, Dora the Explorer, live action film. You are the current holder of the Dumbass Ambassador Award, and we're going to move on. Speaking of stupid ideas, so I normally don't talk about this kind of thing, but I wanted to talk about it just this once. So the Venom film has officially started filming, and I wanted to take a moment to think about the fact that right now, somewhere out there, probably in like Hollywood or wherever the hell it is, there are people who are currently making a Venom live action film that is not a part of any established superhero universe. It is its own thing. It is just a Venom film that's like, and that Spider-Man, as far as we are currently aware, is not even in that universe. And that's being made right now.
By people. On
By
purpose.
people. Which is stupid. That's a stupid... Why? We talked about this so many times, but like, why? Why would you bother? Who is interested in this? Who is just like, yes, I love Venom, but I think that Venom's attachment to Spider-Man, which is literally the most important aspect of his character, I don't think that that's important.
Exactly.
I'm just like, you know what? Fuck that. I just want to see a scary looking black Spider-Man ripoff that is not a Spider-Man ripoff. I just want to see a
Exactly.
scary black spider looking thing that
with
shoots
with
goo.
unexplained spider powers.
Yeah. I was thinking about this. Steve and I were having this conversation right before we started recording. You could maybe justify the fact that he has spider powers, because all we know about this symbiote is it's like this goo thing. So you could justify it. He can stick to walls because the goo is sticky. He can shoot goo out and use it as like a rope or whatever because it's goo and it's sticky. Like, you can maybe make that work. You can't really make the actually, no. You could say that the goo like enhances his like brain or whatever, and that's why he has like spider sense or whatever. He can like sense things before they happen because the goo is like amplifying his brain waves or some fucking shit.
Sure, that's not stupid. Let's go with that.
I mean, it is stupid, but at least it's somewhat justified. I don't mind that. I don't mind like his powers being spidery. You can explain that. What I'm confused about is how you can have a story. That's
an excellent question, Adam.
My understanding of Venom is that he is a character who he's a character who's obsessed with Spider-Man. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Like he wants to kill Spider-Man. He is mad at Spider-Man. He's insulted by Spider-Man. And when Spider-Man rejects the symbiote finds someone that hates Spider-Man too, and they kind of bond and team up so they can go and kill Spider-Man together. Am I incorrect in this?
Yeah, you're
like,
in the
I know
ballpark,
that that's I know that that's not exact because I have not read the comics of Venom, so I know I'm not perfect on this, but that's like the basics of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so he's a character whose kind of entire story hinges on the existence of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And you're going to
kind
make
of like having
where...
another villain whose entire existence is based on that of a hero and making them have their own movie. Oh, wait.
We just talked about it. I don't know. The thing about Joker is that, like, I can imagine Joker existing without Batman.
Yeah, you could. Like, I mean,
like,
he's like
all
the
he
foil,
is, he's
but...
just like a fucking, he's just a fucking scary mobster guy who's a clown. Like I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like maybe. Like, I think it's a stupid idea. I don't really want to see a Joker origin film, but I think it could be done.
Yes, of the two, I guess the Joker one makes more sense. I'm with you though. I don't know how you could possibly make a story about Venom that doesn't involve Spider-Man.
Yeah, I just don't see it. And if you are going to make it involve Spider-Man, you can't involve Tom Holland. Or, well, maybe you can. I don't think you can. I don't think that the Disney overlords would allow that shit. So, like, you'd have to have a new Spider-Man. This is like the same shit with Joker. You'd have to have a new Spider-Man in its own separate universe that's being filmed at the same time. Because that's not fucking confusing. Like, this is such a stupid idea, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate everything about the Venom film. And I would love to be... Okay, there's one thing I like about the Venom film. I like Tom Hardy. He's a good actor. That's it. That's all I got. That's the only positive thing I can say, is that Tom Hardy, you're good. I don't know why the hell you signed up for this, but, you know, you are a good actor. I can't deny that.
I mean,
that's it.
That has
that's
very little to do with the actual Venom movie, though.
That's really... You're right, obviously. So we're gonna move on now because there wasn't any news there other than, yep, this is totally actually
it's real,
being made,
folks.
like right now. It's actually 100% happening. Ugh.
Can't wait to see what the plot is.
Oh god, I'm so excited. Not really. I mean, I'm excited to see the train wreck that it is.
Venom goes to L.A. and he is captured by Dora.
Yeah, he gets swiped by Swiper.
And then he swipes the symbiote and becomes anti-Venom.
Oh god, no, stop it.
Make it happen, Hollywood.
So this next bit of news, we're gonna move on, is also disconcerting, but it's not like as horrible as everything else that we've talked about so far. So the Justice League film, which we've talked about endlessly,
coming out soon, kids.
Yep, it's coming out like next month. It's like really soon. Will only be 121 minutes, and if you're not very good at math, that's literally 1 minute over 2 hours. And that makes it the shortest DCFU film to date. And I am worried about that. That's not something I'm happy about. I just... Okay. The DCFU has been building towards the formation of the Justice League basically from the beginning. Like, I know technically Man of Steel, like, wasn't building that, but it was establishing Superman's character, if nothing else.
Building is probably a strong word. I'd say hastily assembling, but yes.
Yeah, yeah, but like this is the thing that they've been trying to get to for a long time now. Like Batman v Superman was like a fucking like mess because they were trying to do all this setup for Justice League, and then they made Wonder Woman, which did a lot of Justice League setup as well, mostly just with telling us who the hell Wonder Woman is, since they didn't bother to get around to that in Batman v Superman. And for me to have spent all this time trying to, you know, put all the chips in place and get everything ready to go to make a Justice League film, it kind of bothers me that we're finally going to get to it and it's only going to be 2 hours long. Like, okay, by comparison, Batman v Superman was like 2 hours and 43 minutes, or something like that.
Long.
And yeah, long.
And that's how long it was.
Version. And that was the shorter version. The extended edition, the version that was actually not awful, that one was over 3 hours long. And this film, Justice League, is going to be an hour shorter than that. Like, it's going to be only 2 hours. I just don't see how you can... how you can, like, this is our first real introduction to the Flash, to Cyborg, and to Aquaman, and it's going to be the film where you resurrect Superman.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a film where you introduce, at the very least, you introduce the idea of Darkseid, and you have them all fight against his subordinate, which is Steppenwolf. And you're going to do all of that in 2 hours.
Yeah, apparently.
How the fuck are you going to introduce all those characters?
With a brick on the accelerator, Adam.
Have them all team up, have Superman show up, and then have them all fight against the bad guy at the end in 2 fucking hours. This movie, it's gonna. I'm just gonna call it now. It's gonna be disappointing. I'm gonna be disappointed again. They're gonna fuck it up again.
Okay, well, hang on. There's two ways to look at this, Adam. There's, on the one hand, the 2 hours might actually be a blessing in disguise because the Batman v Superman was so filled to the gills with shit that it was so complicated and overly complicated it didn't need to be. Now, we could look at this as them streamlining things and maybe making a tighter experience.
That's
on
fair.
the other hand, and the probably more realistic hand, is that they fucked it up again, and they're going to have 5 different characters to cram into a movie that doesn't even have enough room for 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So...
maybe 3.
well, okay. Wonder Woman doesn't really count, though, because she was barely in Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that... okay, 2.25, whatever. Not enough time to character ratio.
I don't know. I'm really bothered, and I can guarantee it. I guarantee it. There's going to be an extended Ultimate, collector's director's edition.
Oh yeah.
That's going to have like an extra, like probably half hour.
You're probably right.
Footage on it.
And in that case, I would say, why do you not just make that the release then?
I agree. Like, I just don't get this shit. Like, why are you doing this? Like, there's no, like, Zack Snyder, love him or hate him, the guy makes long films. He always has. Like, every film, Watchmen, the full version is like 3.5 hours.
Never seen it.
The full version of Batman v Superman is over 3 hours. I don't know the exact
long
time. Sucker Punch is like an hour, is like 2.5 hours. Like,
long
every fucking movie. Yeah, it is very weird. Every fucking movie that Zack Snyder makes is long. That's like his style. So the idea that he could somehow hold back.
Well,
for
it might
this
not have been
big
his
film.
call. I mean,
I'm
the
sure
DC
it wasn't.
overlords are probably pulling his leash pretty tight on this one because they don't want him to, jabber on for 3 hours. They want to just get this shit on the road because they really need to get a movie out there and hope it's good, Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this could be creative, or it could be, the DC commanded me to make a 2-hour movie because, God help me, I just can't help myself when I talk for 3 fucking hours about this story and fill it with so much goddamn Lex Luthor. I'm sorry, Alex Luthor.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Don't even say that. Oh, God, I hated that. I cannot see how you can say that a 2-hour film, only a 2-hour film, is a good idea for this movie.
Yeah.
If this was like Wonder Woman, like a 2-hour Wonder Woman film, I'd be like, oh, that sounds fine. Because it's only one character. It's that should be okay.
You tell your story and you're out.
Yeah. Or like a 2-hour Batman movie, or a 2-hour pick one. Like any, literally one.
Pick a character and you can make their movie 2 hours.
I cannot see how even if this movie is good, I think at the very least I'm gonna walk out of it being like, man, I wish there was more. I kind of wish I had a little bit more to go on here, Even if I really like it, I know I'm gonna be like, wow, that was that. Like, I wanted more stuff. I wanted more character interaction. I wanted more character development. That kind of shit. Like, I'm gonna want more of that.
Here's how this is just a prediction, but here's how I think the DC movie formula works from now on. Just get the plot in the movie and don't explain anything about anyone, and patch it in. No, I'm serious. And patch it in post, because if they just start from like the 10-minute mark and parademons are already showing up and it's just 2 hours and 1 minute or whatever of shit like exploding and jumping with the Batmobile and Wonder Woman doing that knuckle clack thing that she does that makes a sound wave or whatever.
Yeah.
If it's just that for 2 hours, and then that'll be the goal they set out to reach. We won't know anything about Aquaman or the Flash or Cyborg. They'll just show up in the movie, and we're just going to have to accept that, and maybe someday down the line we'll get a prequel for them. And that'll be how things are going to go from now on.
No, I don't think that. No, that's a terrible idea.
It is. I agree. But that's
it.
kind of what it feels like the plan is, because there's no way they could actually give us a real satisfying origin for 3 new characters in this movie and still fit in the plot. So either they're going to explain the characters, waste a fuckload of time, and have a terrible movie, or they're just going to go balls into this particular movie and not explain anything about anyone.
Honestly, I would rather that they like take their time and introduce the characters and just have the final battle be somewhat anticlimactic, and then so that way we have the team established, so then when they make Justice League 2 or whatever and Darkseid actually shows up, that way we don't have to.
Justice League 2 Part 1.
No, I mean Justice League 2. They were going to make Justice League Part 1 and Part 2, but then they decided to scrap that, and they're just making a Justice League, and then they're also going to make a Justice League 2 later.
Actually, hang on a minute, yeah. So Justice League 1 was supposed to be a 2-parter, yeah?
Yeah.
So, if anything, this movie should be extra long to make up for the fact that we're missing a whole another movie's worth of plot.
Yeah.
But no.
Okay, actually, here's what I think that they did. They were going to call it Justice League Part 1 and Part 2, but then they realized that people didn't like that idea, and they thought that they were like, we don't like Part 1 and Part 2. So they're just like, oh, okay. So then they just kind of renaming this one Justice League.
Oh, okay.
And then they're making the next one just Justice League 2, even though I think the basic core outline of the story is the same. Like, I'm pretty sure this was the version of the story, Justice League, the first Justice League film is basically just Justice League Part 1. That seems like the easiest thing they could have done. It's just like, don't fuck with the story, just change the name to kind of lure people into thinking that this is going to be a satisfying film on its own merits, when it probably won't be. The best possible option is that I really love this film, and I'm just like, man, I can't wait to see Darkseid for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to see them fight the actual villain. Because we all know that Steppenwolf, some asshole with an axe, he's not the villain. No one cares about him.
Yeah,
no one even knows his name.
He's the Ironsides or the Whiplash or the Yellow Jacket of these movies.
Like, no one gives a shit. I'm getting more and more worried about this Justice League movie. I just
abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
All right, so we're gonna move on.
It's a bummer, Adam.
So, it really is. I just don't see how it can turn out well. So we're gonna move on to Star Trek Discovery. So Star Trek Discovery has been renewed for season 2. If you're like us and you didn't even completely realize that the first season was going on right now, you're not the only one, because the Star Trek Discovery is only available on CBS All Access, which is their $6 a month streaming service. And as far as I'm concerned...
And frankly, fuck that.
Look, like, if you're gonna make a streaming service, but, that's okay. But when you take a series and make it so the only way to watch it is through that, like, they don't show it on TV. It's only on CBS All Access. I get what you're trying to do from, like, a financial perspective. I understand that. But from a customer perspective, from my perspective, I'm just not gonna watch it. Like, fuck you. I'm not gonna even bother. Like, anyway, so it's been renewed for season 2, and it will still be exclusive. Like that, they're not changing their policy on that. They're still going to only make it available on their premium subscription service, which is fucking stupid. And you're just asking for people to watch it illegally. You're begging people to watch it illegally.
Basically, yeah.
HBO had the smart idea when, like, at the beginning of, like, Game of Thrones or whatever, the only way you could watch HBO was if you had a very, very premium cable subscription. And not a lot of people did. And so what HBO decided to do, they're just like, okay, fine. Let's launch a streaming service. Let's make it as cheap as we can, and let's make it available on, like, every platform we can fucking think of. They made it so it's super easy to watch their shit. And I appreciated that about about HBO. Like with HBO, it's not. It's like if you have TV, you can watch it on TV. But if you don't, because a lot of you don't, then you can watch it on this subscription thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but with CBS, they're just like, no, 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 no. You have to pay us $6 a month, so you could only watch it online on your fucking computer screen. Like, you want to watch it on television? Fuck you. That's not how we roll. We're gonna show the first 2 episodes on television, and then the rest are gonna be locked behind this stupid fucking streaming service. I really, really am bothered by this. I am not going to watch it. Like I don't think this is going to turn out the way they want it to. I think they're just going to make it so a bunch of people don't see their stuff.
Basically. Well, I kind of feel like, I mean, honestly, Star Trek's kind of a niche thing anyway. I think it's awfully ballsy of them to put such a niche thing on this exclusive only service, because basically then you have the Venn diagram of the intersection of people who are interested in Star Trek and the people who bought your stupid streaming service, you know? And that little intersection in the middle is not a whole lot of money.
I don't know, though. I mean, see, yes, it's niche, but that niche is super loyal.
No, I get Trek, that, you know, but, like, at a certain point, you kind of have to weigh your options of, like, you know, do I care enough about this new thing that's related to the thing that I like to buy a service just for it, you know? It's kind of like when people get shit for YouTube Red for, like, one YouTuber. It's kind of like, you know, I'm not going to tell you to spend your money, but, like, you know, if you're not going to use it for a bunch of shit, then why bother, you know? Just don't watch that thing.
Dude, it's really funny. Every time I see, like, a commercial or an ad or whatever for something on YouTube Red, I'm immediately just like, oh, never mind. Like,
oh, dude, like, absolutely.
It completely doesn't matter what it is.
Because, like,
I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to watch that. Like, I'm not going to pay money for it.
You know the Game Grumps made, like, a movie?
They did?
Yeah, it's like, they're like shit, like pro game people. They're putting like a made up game team together to like win the Super Bowl of video games or whatever. And you know, it looked kind of fun. It's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I wonder what... Oh, YouTube Red. Okay, never mind.
Yep, exactly.
I think the first episode is not YouTube Red, which I'm still just like, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, because you're gonna watch it and be like, oh, that was kind of nice, but I can't watch any more. So,
yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, well, then you want to try to hook me with paying, and it's like, no, thank you.
Yeah,
even if I had money, which I don't, it wouldn't go to YouTube.
Oh God, I have money, but it goes to bills. like I don't have a whole lot of money to spare just so I can spend money on YouTube Red and CBS All Access. Like, that's not something I can afford.
Exactly.
Anyway,
I have Netflix, and as soon as they start taking all of the Star Wars and shit off of Netflix, I don't know what I'm going to do about that then.
Oh, that's going to suck.
Yeah.
Actually, before we move on, I was going to say, so the shittiest thing about this Star Trek Discovery thing on CBS All Access is that I've heard that Star Trek Discovery is really good. Like, I've heard really positive things about it, and that makes me kind of sad, because it's just like, oh, well, I still can't watch it, so like it's one of those things where it's like, no matter what I hear about it, it's still dead to me.
Yeah,
like, it's just like, nope, too bad. It's like unless
the new Star
I have
Trek
a more
gives you orgasms you wouldn't believe, and it's like, well, I guess I'll just never know. The new Star Trek hands out $100 bills every time you push play. Nah, thanks though.
The new Star Trek made me want to not die anymore. What?
I'm fine the way I am, I think.
I like wanting to die. It's fine. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Doctor Who. And I'm going to kind of take this opportunity to talk about more than just the news. So, fair warning. So, Doctor Who has announced the companions for the next season. And that is, yes,
with an S.
Companions with an S. So, there's going to be 3. There's going to be Bradley Walsh as Graham. And this is like an older white gentleman. He looks like he's like about in his 50s or so. And then there's going to be Tosin Cole as Ryan, who is like a younger 20 or 30-ish black man. And there is Mandip Gill as Yasmin, who is also another younger Indian woman. And that's a very diverse cast. And this is on top of the first female doctor we've ever had. Played by Jodie Whittaker. So this is going to be a very progressive season, I'm guessing, or at least a progressive cast. And I'm fine with that. Please do not think that I'm against them being progressive and having all kinds of different ethnicities and
All the
stuff. That
different
sounds
flavors
great.
of people.
My only worry is I'm scared that the show is going to become like the progressive news hour. You know what I mean? Like it's going to spend so much time trying to be progressive, and it's like, women can do anything.
Okay, all right.
Racism is bad. Sexism is bad. Blah. Ageism is bad. Like I don't want that to become what Doctor Who is fantasy science fiction, and I don't want it to be bogged down with all that other stuff too much.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from, but if I may offer an alternative,
Okay.
I don't think the show is going to devolve into that. Actually, because even right now, well, I can say right now because it's not currently on, but before and in general, Doctor Who's been relatively progressive, but in relatively, tactfully evasive ways.
Yeah.
Because
I
it
know
addresses
that.
issues, like homosexuality and different colored folk. But it's never just like, this black lesbian can do anything the white straight man can do.
Yeah, I say that even though like Doctor Who so far has proven itself to be very tactful at that kind of stuff. Like it knows how to like have a message and to like address these very complicated issues in a way that doesn't come across as preachy.
Yeah.
At least so far. My only worry really is that there's going to be a new showrunner now. There's a new head writer on the series. And so I don't really know much about the guy, so I'm worried that the show is going to change because I don't know what to expect anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean that's a legitimate concern, but actually what I was gonna say is that I'm not so worried about the show taking on these like I don't even know what the word would be. I guess progressive idealism, as much as I imagine that people are going to paint it that way, because there are a lot of people out there who really hate when the world changes or doesn't follow their agreements, and it just seems like people are going to be tempted to, use that kind of paintbrush on the show. So it's going to, I think the show's going to suffer because of the way people talk about it rather than what it actually contains.
I think you're probably
for
right.
better or worse,
This actually reminds me of, in the past season, Bill, who is this black lesbian character. And a lot of people I've seen online talk about how she's always talking about her sexuality. It's like, oh, hey, here's Bill, the token black lesbian, And I feel that that's not fair because she actually does not talk about her sexuality nearly as often as characters like Rose or Amy or Martha. Like all of these companions who like they either were in love with the Doctor or were in love with someone else. I mean, or shit, even Clara. Clara had like this sort of romance with the 11th Doctor, and then she had a romance with that one Danny Pink,
Pinkman.
Like all of the main Doctor Who companions, with the exception of Donna, have had, and even she had a few, have had major romances. Like it's not like what'd you just say?
Huh?
Did you just say Donna sucks?
No, I didn't say that.
Did you just insult like the best companion in the show? Did you just do that? Are we gonna? Do I have to go? Are we gonna go, Steve?
I actually forget which one Donna is, so I was just poking your buttons.
Okay. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that to move on with my life.
Okay.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that because Bill was lesbian, people were like super hyper aware of her sexuality and were constantly aware of every time she mentioned it, every time she showed interest in a woman, blah 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 blah. But they weren't as aware as other straight characters talking about how it's like, yes, I'm married to Rory. Oh, the Doctor is so sexy. Blah 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 blah. Like they don't really notice that. That's just like normal to them. But characters like Bill, that's abnormal, so they're constantly thinking about it and being like, oh, how could she talk about it all the time, even though it's not really any more prevalent than with any other companion.
Right.
And you're right. All of this is to say is that you are correct, and that I think that this new season of Doctor Who has a very tough road ahead of it, where if it's not like practically perfect, then people are going to like rip it to shreds, especially like the people who hate like
Well, a certain subsect
the
of people.
social justice warriors, have taken over Doctor Who, blah blah blah. Like they have to be very very they have to walk a very fine line with this new season, and I don't envy them at all.
No, that sounds like just that's uphill battle the entire time.
Yeah, it really is. That being said, personally, I'm super excited.
Yeah,
I
don't really care about having a female doctor. I mean, it's the same thing that I keep saying about Link, and people always get butthurt about this. But like, if we had a female Link, it wouldn't change a damn thing because it's a different guy every time. People don't remember that part of that story. It's a different dude every single game.
Yeah, I don't really understand.
Like reincarnated, so who gives a shit, you know?
Yeah, who fucking cares? Like, or like, would you be bothered if Zelda became a boy?
No,
would that bother you?
I mean, it'd be Prince Zelda then, but no, I wouldn't be bothered. Because
Whatever.
Again, it's just it's just a person reincarnated. Who gives a shit? It could be a cow.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I've never really cared about Link being a girl. That's not
Also,
something that
Linkle
bothers me.
from Dynasty Warriors Zelda clone thing is fucking adorable. So
Is she? All right.
So let's go with that moving forward. But like, yeah, I don't care that we have a lady doctor, and that doesn't really bother me. And the ethnically diverse cast of extras doesn't bother me. If I'm honest, the number is what bothers me. But
see, I actually feel very different to you. I am super excited about the number of cast members. I like the idea of like a team on the TARDIS, and that's something that Classic Who did a lot. Like Classic Who sometimes had as many as like 5 companions on at a time.
Oh, okay.
Like, but that's something that's never really been done in New Who. The most we've ever had at a time is 2.
Yeah.
Like Amy and Rory, Rose and Jack, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've never ever had more than 2 companions at a time, and now we're gonna get 3 at a time. And one of them is an older gentleman, and that's exciting in some ways, just because it's like we've never had an older companion doctor. We've never had an older male doctor. I can't speak. Older male companion. That's what I'm trying to say.
Jesus,
we've never
took
had
you way
that.
too many tries.
I know. I don't know what's wrong with me, but we've never had that. Like the closest thing we had to that would be Donna, who was an older female. Well, not older, but like
probably
she was
the
like,
eldest of the companions.
Yeah, she was like 40 or like high 30s, and I liked that about Donna. I always liked that about Donna, just because it's something different. I'm getting kind of sick.
Oh wait, is she the one with the dad who was really helpful all the time?
Yes,
okay.
It was her grandfather. But
yeah,
yes.
Whatever. Okay, I remember her now.
You don't like her?
No, I don't like her. I think she was the most annoying one.
I think the most annoying one was Martha, personally.
Which one was
I got
that?
really. That was the black one.
Oh, I forgot about her entirely. Yeah, she didn't leave any kind of impression.
Yeah, I didn't like her. I didn't like her mostly because she was just constantly like, the doctor doesn't love me the way he loves Rose. Like, I
didn't like Rose
that
either. Just to piss everybody else off. I thought Rose was annoying too. I liked Amy. There.
Okay, fine.
I like Amy.
I like Amy too. I've always liked Amy. I like Amy and Rory. They're like probably my favorite TARDIS team. I've always loved them.
TARDIS team.
To get back into this stuff, I'm super okay with them having three people at once.
I mean, I'll get over it. But...
I feel like that opens up so many more storytelling possibilities. You know what I mean? Like there's so much you can do with that.
I'm wondering
like
what
instead
the
of just having
between these characters is. They don't seem to have anything in common, so. Not to say that people of different colors can't meet or whatever, but it's just kind of like, usually they have some sort of connecting thread when they do the more than one. Just kind of wondering what it is.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of would be that I have the names here, would be that Ryan and Yasmin are together.
Those I would assume. That's
the younger black man and the younger Indian woman.
But then my conclusion would have been old fellow would have been her dad or something, but he's not the right color.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean,
again,
it could
I
be
guess
something
could be, but...
It could be something along the lines of the older person is like a professor or something, and then like he takes 2 of his students with him when he. I don't know. There's a lot of. Find out. Yeah, we'll have to find out. I'm so excited though. I'm really excited for Jodie Whittaker to play as the Doctor. We never had a chance to talk about this when it was first announced, but I'm first of all, yeah, as we've already said a billion times, I'm totally fine with a female Doctor as an idea. I'm mostly excited just because. she's a great actress. Like I've seen her in Broadchurch, and she's really good. And there's something that's super super exciting about a new Doctor. Like I always feel that way. Like when Matt Smith was first announced to leave and Capaldi was going to be taking over, I was like so fucking excited. Like
total
my God.
opposite. Total opposite reaction. I hate
Really?
change.
Oh man, I
get
love
set in my
it.
ways on a Doctor, and then I'm stuck with him. I've had my heart broken 3 times now, Adam.
Man, I like it. I like change. I like all of the emotions that come with it.
Yeah,
like,
you know what else was change, Adam? The flood that killed all the animals on Earth. That was change. And look what happened there.
Ah, God, it's different, Steve, and you know it. Like, holy shit. Matt Smith's final like speech, you know, where he's just like, I won't forget one word of this, not a single one. I'll always remember when the Doctor was me. Fuck! Oh my God, I was bawling. I was just like, how could you do this? Oh my God!
Yeah, I remember when David Tennant went to the beach with Rose, and he like left a rose there or something like that, and then it was sad, I guess.
I like it when Doctor Who makes me sad, okay, Steve?
No, that's fine. I actually didn't feel anything in that scene, though, because fuck Rose. But, you know, I get why other people were sad, I guess.
Jeez. You're way too mean, you know that?
I don't see the appeal. I really don't. And it pisses people off when I say that, because apparently you're not supposed to say anything about Rose since she was the one true love of the Doctor or something. But she never did anything for me, man.
You know, it's funny. When I was younger, like I first started watching Doctor Who in high school. And when I was watching it back then, I loved Rose, mostly because I thought that Rose was like super fucking hot. That was not the only reason, but that was probably a main reason back then. And for a long time she was my favorite companion. But then recently, like in the past year, I went back and I rewatched all the old stuff. I'm now in the middle of season 6, with the 11th Doctor, and I gotta say, I don't like Rose very much anymore. I still like her a little bit, but I see what you're saying. She was super annoying.
Yeah,
like,
and Amy's hotter anyway, so there. I said it.
Amy is hotter. That is true. The problem I had with Amy is that Amy is married, and that kind of...
Yeah, in a fictional universe, Adam.
Well, I know it's a fictional universe, but I
get in there, bro.
I get involved in the universe, okay?
Oh, okay. So you were worried that the interdimensional traveling people would...
Okay, in my creepy sexual fantasies, I'm not trying to... I'm not trying to bone Karen Gillan. I'm trying to bone Amy Pond. Like, it's Amy. She's the character that I care about.
Okay, that's fair, but it's also a deplorable fantasy, you sick soul, so you can go ahead and do whatever you want in there.
I mean, I know that, but I like Rory, and I don't want to do that to Rory. That's just a terrible thing to do.
Well,
but
why don't you just have your fantasy, have him give you permission?
But see, here's the thing. With Rose never officially, not until the very end, never officially got together with the Doctor. So she was always, you know, like, free pickings. Like I didn't have to feel any guilt involved there.
Ah, I see. I get where you're coming from. I don't agree, though.
Okay, this is stupid anyway.
I think this is a very important discussion, Adam. It's probably the most important thing we've talked about today.
It's not more important than Dora the Explorer.
No, this is more important.
Film.
Comment below your 6 sexual fantasies about the characters on Doctor Who. Go ahead, do it.
Please, no. Actually, while we're on the subject, since we're terrible human beings and we should all just hate ourselves, Clara is so fucking hot.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I don't know. I have a really hard time saying whether I think Amy or Clara is hotter.
Amy.
I can't decide.
Amy.
You think? I don't know, man. Like, I like them both. Clara is something
I like them both too, but I'll tell you what, Adam.
Man,
I have a weakness for the redheads, and that really tips the scales for me. So
I have a weakness for a really cute smile. And holy shit, when fucking Clara smiled, like, my heart melted. Like, I was a puddle on the floor. I was just like, oh, my heart. Like, I gotta, like, this is not okay.
Wow. I have to enter my mind library and check out one of my sexual fantasies.
We're terrible.
Yeah.
This is exactly what people hate about, like, men. Everything is about sex all the time.
Okay, fine.
Terrible
Let's balance
people.
the scales, Adam. Which male Doctor's the best? I'm gonna go with Capaldi. He's pretty. No, you know what? David Tennant. David Tennant's hotter.
Are we talking about sexually?
Oh yeah. David Tennant.
Yeah, David Tennant. Obviously, like, hands down. Now, I mean,
And then Capaldi, because he's got that sexy grandpa thing going on.
yeah, Capaldi absolutely qualifies as sexy grandpa. And I don't like Matt Smith because he has a weird
Face?
like looking. Yeah, yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
He does have a weird face.
He's a weird face. Like his face is like bizarre.
He looks like he's a caricature of something. No offense, Matt Smith.
I have seen fan art of Matt Smith as the Doctor, and it never looks right. And I realized why. It's because he doesn't look right. Like he doesn't look like a person. Oh my god.
Okay.
And Eccleston's fine. Eccleston's kind of like that bad boy, you know? Like he's the one person you had a crush on in middle school, but you
really? Because I would give David Tennant bad boy cred.
David Tennant's not a bad boy. No. The bad boy is Eccleston. David Tennant is like the flawed, tragic, guy who's like going through like stupid emotions and shit all the time.
Feelings and all that horse shit.
Like David Tennant is like the, I can't do this because
okay, all right. So if they were in a
I
boy
love you
band,
too
all right,
much.
hang on. There was 4 of them now since the show rebooted or whatever. So if they were to put them in a boy band, so all right. So David Tennant is what, the emotional one?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. David Tennant is the drama queen.
Okay.
No, hands down, easily.
All right.
Yes.
So then Capaldi is what,
a Capaldi I would think would be like the leader of the group. Like he's the
oldest one.
He's not only is he the oldest one, but he's also the most mature. Like he's the guy who gets stuff done. He's the one who, manages the team and keeps everything going.
Okay.
Matt Smith is like the dorky one. Matt Smith is like the one who plays like the fucking
the
what's
theremin.
that stupid Actually, yeah. He plays like the theremin. He's the one that he's like the Michelangelo of the group. He's the weird, funny one. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, all right, let's put him on Turtles then. That's probably easier. Okay, so then that makes Capaldi is Leo.
Yep.
So that means that
Michelangelo is 11. I would say that Donatello would probably be. I feel conflicted on this. Donatello really doesn't fit any of them.
Well, neither does Raph, really.
The closest one with Raph is almost like a combination of Eccleston and Tennant in some ways.
Okay. This wasn't as easy as I thought it was. Never mind. Let's just abandon the ship before it goes nowhere. So anyway, female doctor. How cool is that?
Female doctor. I'm really excited. Also, I feel so guilty saying this while we're on the subject, but we are on the subject, so I feel guilty saying this, but Jodie Whittaker is so fucking hot. Just throwing that out there.
I don't know if you have to feel bad about that, Adam.
Well, I feel bad about it because, I feel like a lot of people, whenever they see any female actress, especially men, always sexualize them, and I try not to do that. I try to see.
That's fair.
I try to see people as people first, and I do. I'm excited to see what she brings to the role, and I've read interviews, and she seems really excited about getting to play the Doctor, and I'm really positive about that.
Adam.
But also, I would fuck the absolute shit out of her.
Okay. You know what? It's good that you qualified, because no. Hear me out. I agree, and that's a shame that kind of thing happens, and it's not right. But at the same time, I don't think any women appreciate Ryan Gosling for his acting ability. Let's just put that out there, okay? Yeah, it's perfectly acceptable to ogle somebody and tell them that you would, to use your words, fuck the shit out of them, if you also agree that they're good at acting.
Oh
as long as it's not the only thing you like about them, it's okay.
Yeah, it's not. It's not just that's not the only thing. I genuinely think that she's a great actress. I thought she did a very good job in Broadchurch, and I've genuinely read interviews, like the whole interview I haven't watched them because I don't like watching things very much on my phone. I prefer to read them. But I've read whole interviews, and she's very positive, and she seems like a very down-to-earth, friendly person, and she's also very physically attractive. I'm not a bad person.
It's not a crime.
Oh my god. We're moving on, finally. We've been talking about this for way too long.
Well, to be fair, we weren't talking about that so much as we got really sidetracked about what cast members we would fuck.
We're moving on to our only piece of video game news. And it's the kind of video game news that I love to talk about. It's the kind that makes both Steve and I angry. Yay! So Rockstar says that Grand Theft Auto 5 single-player DLC is, quote, not possible or necessary, end quote. To
Boo.
which I reply, what the fuck are you fucking talking about?
Okay,
And
all right, hang
okay,
on. 1 second. When I did a boo, the capture of sound waves made the shape of a penis, and I think that's really appropriate. So boo, Rockstar. You get a penis sound wave for your stupid decisions and things you say.
Okay. I don't even care that there's no single-player DLC.
No, that's not
for
why I'm upset.
Grand Theft Auto. I'm not mad about that. I'm mad that you tried to say that it's not possible.
Yeah.
No, it is possible. There's nothing stopping you other than the fact that like modern video gaming is obsessed with multiplayer.
Yeah.
And single player is old hat.
Possible was not the P word you were trying to say. What you wanted to say is it's not profitable.
There it is.
That's the one you wanted to say. Because there's way more money to be made in GTA 5 DLC for online shit. Because, God help me if everybody doesn't play GTA 5 online for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
And the origins of single player will be, in a couple games, probably lost forever. Because there's just no reason to worry about it. Because, who cares about single player? We're not getting any money out of them. They bought the game, what, one time?
Exactly. And I'm really bothered by that thing. Now, is the single-player DLC necessary? Now,
That's a separate issue.
I actually agree with them. I don't think it's necessary. I don't need single-player DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5. It's such a huge game with such a outrageous amount of shit to do. There's so many side quests that I don't really need more content. Like, I'm perfectly fine with what I was given. But I am annoyed that you think that everyone agrees with me. I know that there are people out there who played the absolute shit out of GTA 5 single player and would love more stuff to do. I know that they are out there, and you just decide that they don't exist because there's too many fucking douchebags killing each other online. That's the only thing you do in online. Have you ever played online?
No.
Have you ever done it?
But to be fair, I barely played the single player because after the game crashed, I was like, that's a sign from God, I'm done.
Yeah. I played online, and basically, you run around to try to make money, and you get fucking killed by other players, because everyone's a terrible human being, and that's why I don't like multiplayer, because I don't like dealing with assholes, and when you get online, every single person is an asshole.
Is that the objective of the game, is to kill the other players? Do you get anything
it's not,
for that?
but you can do it, and so people do.
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how the point of Minecraft is to like make shit, but there's always somebody who will set your house on fire.
Exactly. People like destroying things, and when they can destroy things in a like not destructive way in real life, that is, like when you can play a video game and just fuck shit up and not feel any ramifications for that, you want to. Everyone has those tendencies. And I get it, but that doesn't mean I want to deal with everyone else destroying my shit all the time. So thanks, but no thanks. Mm-hmm. Is kind of my whole thing with that.
Yeah, I don't know how they could tell people that it's not possible to make single-player DLC. Because it's absolutely possible. They've been doing it for decades now.
I mean, maybe what they mean is it's not financially possible. But the money they spent making it wouldn't be made back, maybe?
I don't know why they would say that either, because I guarantee you people would get the single-player DLC.
Yeah,
even if they play online, I bet you they still get it.
It would sell like a bajillion copies. Like, I know it would. Yes. No way. There's no way. Unless you spent $500,000 million making the DLC, I can't see how it wouldn't be financially successful.
Yeah.
Like, people
Maybe
would
you
buy
forgot
it.
what game this is. It's Grand Theft fucking Auto.
Yeah. It's like the most popular game series ever.
Yeah.
Like, other than, like, maybe Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like,
you could make an entire DLC pack for $29.99 that did nothing but replace NPCs with banana hammocks. And
they would buy that shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For $29.99, I'll buy it twice. Doesn't even cost half as much as the game did. Shush.
Okay. So, unless you have anything else to say about this,
no,
we're going to move on.
It makes me upset, but no, I'm fine.
We're going to move on to my humble opinion, both of ours. So, I think I went first last time.
I don't remember. I think you did.
Either.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so well, you can go ahead.
Okay.
It's okay.
So mine's pretty niche. I don't know if anybody has ever even heard of this, but except for a select... Well, actually, I'm going to get to that in a minute, because apparently lots of people have. But I took it upon myself to watch the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon from
Oh,
1985.
why would you do this?
I saw I play D&D, and I'm part of D&D forums and stuff. It's a
Wow,
great
look
game,
at
by
you.
the by.
That's awesome. Like,
Yeah,
that's
but
great.
there's a lot of memes that go around because it's the internet, and they kept using this little short, like, fucking, like, I don't know, miniature version of Santa or something as a meme. And I was like, wonder where that's from. So I looked it up, and that's the Dungeon Master character from the D&D cartoon. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right into this because it's something
Okay,
special,
go
to
ahead.
be sure. So I think it has 3 seasons. I think. I've seen
Okay.
all of them. I've seen every
You've seen all of
episode.
them?
There's 27
Jeez.
episodes. I've seen them all.
Okay.
So it's based. So imagine if the kids from Magic School Bus went to Eternia and then reenacted the plot of Samurai Jack. That's what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Magic School Bus kids went to some
Eternia.
fantasy land. I don't know
Eternia.
what that is. I
From
don't know
He-Man.
Eternia.
It's He-Man.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen He-Man.
Same time
and
period.
Reenacted Samurai Jack. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So basically the plot, as it is 6 kids named, I don't know because they have different names because all their names in the D&D world are their classes, so they don't actually use their real names, but let's not worry about that.
That's stupid, but okay.
Well, shut up.
Get over here, Hunter. Like,
Well, yeah.
please follow me, Mage. Like,
Yes,
dumb.
well, only everybody else calls them that. They call each other by their names, but I don't remember what their
Oh.
names are because I just used but it doesn't matter. The point is that the theme song actually tells you, well, not the theme song, but the opening sequence is actually the origin story. They're at a theme park. There's a Dungeons and Dragons roller coaster. They get on it, and it transports them to Dungeons and Dragons Land, which I'm pretty sure is how one of the Digimon starts. I think they get on a train or something, and it takes them to Digiland or whatever it's called, Digiworld.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're in the original Digimon. They're in like a school camp, and then they just kind of fall into it or something.
Okay,
I
well,
don't remember.
one of the series, there's definitely a train involved, but whatever. So yes, they get sent to another world, and then Tiamat is there, which, if you're not familiar with D&D, is the dragon god of evil.
Okay.
It's a 5-headed dragon.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Sure,
she's
why
pretty
not?
she's pretty scary. And that's the first thing that shows up in the world, and then they're like, "Oh my god, holy shit, it's a dragon!" And then the dungeon master shows like, "Don't worry, ranger, wizard, thief, barbarian, and acrobat." He like shoots. Oh, and Cavalier. I forgot Cavalier. Yeah, and he shoots them with a beam thing, and it gives them weapons and related to their class, and then they fight Tiamat, the dragon god. And then they climb a mountain to try to get away, and whoopsie daisy, a vampire dude named I honestly forgot his name. I just watched the last episode like an hour ago, and I forgot his name, but he's the bad guy through most of the show. And they're like, and then Tiamat and him fight, and there's like, who was that? And that was blah blah blah, the master of evil, and I am the dungeon master in your journey through Dungeons and Dragons. And then the show starts. So that's basically that's the show. They get on a roller coaster and they pop up in Dungeons and Dragons land. And the whole point, like Samurai Jack, is to try to find a way home. Except, you know how in Samurai Jack, most of the show was him wandering around, occasionally helping strangers and fighting bad guys, and then like every 30 episodes, he'd find a possible way home, and something would happen
And then
to
it
prevent
wouldn't
him.
work?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's every other episode.
Oh.
Yeah. In fact, sometimes, a couple of them,
It's
they
such
actually...
a stupid cliche. Oh my god.
Actually, a couple of them, they actually do make it home, but for some reason, they have to go back because a thing is happening that's... Yeah. So they actually make it back to real Earth, but they have to, like, change their mind and head back to Fantasyland in order to, I don't know, prevent something from happening to someone, Instead of just going home when they had the chance. Because the show would have been over after 6 episodes then. But yes, so the ranger is, I don't remember, he's got a magical bow that shoots magical arrows that kind of do whatever he needs them to do at the time. Because it kind of seems like he can steer them or turn them into grappling hooks or make nets out of them or things. He's basically just shooting Green Lantern constructs at him. There is the thief, who's, oh my god, adorable. I have such a crush on her.
Oh.
Who has a cloak that turns her invisible.
Nice.
There's the barbarian who's her brother. He's like 10 years old, and he's got a club that hits things hard. They've got the acrobat who has what they call a javelin, but it's a quarterstaff, if anything. It's basically just a stick that she pole vaults with. And then they have the Cavalier, who has a shield that blocks things, and that's it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very good.
Yeah. They didn't even give him a weapon. He's just got a shield. And I mean, and the wizard has a hat that he can pull things out of that does magic, but he sucks at magic, so a lot of the times he just gets random shit, because otherwise he'd be the best character. He's actually the worst character, because he's basically useless all the time.
Only useful when plot demands it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There was one time where he basically just, like, Jack and the Beanstalk kind of thing? There was, like, a giant, and he basically just, like, shrink-rayed the giant with his magic, but he's never done anything like that before or since.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's basically, so the plot is basically them wandering around and the dungeon master showing up and telling them a fucking riddle, like the up is down when day is night, and then walking off and Batmaning out of there, and then they're just like, where the hell did he go? And they're like, well, I guess we better get going to do that thing he was talking about. And he'll show up and he'll be like, I have found a way that'll get you home if you collect the 6 magic amulets of Akdan Maku or something. And it's like, I already have 5 of them, let's go collect the 6th one or whatever. And then they'll go and then they'll find some way to make sense of his riddle, like, if we flip this mountain upside down, it'll block out the sun, so up is down when day is night, or whatever. And they'll be like, it's just like the dungeon master said. And it's absurd, and then, like, a fairy will show up or something who gets shot in the face with a 22, and they're like, oh no, we have to use the energy from the talismans to save her instead of just going home. Every episode. And that's basically the entire plot. Oh, and the evil vampire guy wants their magic weapons because
reasons. Got it.
Wait,
okay.
yeah. I mean, it's not super clear. This
show sounds like very, very 80s.
It is super 80s.
Yeah, like it just sounds like, that sounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's got like awkward animation where the lips don't really line up, and like it's obviously hand drawn because shit jumps around sometimes between walk animations and stuff, and a couple of times people's hands disappear or something, or they change color because somebody forgot to fill in the cell. And it's like, that's kind of adorable in a
classic,
in a giraffe baby's first steps kind of way. I don't know, it's
sure,
cute.
Sure.
It's cute that way.
It kind of adds character to the show.
Yeah, it's got feeling because it's so really bad. Yes, and that's basically the plot. The guy wants their stuff and tries to keep them because he wants to take over the world or whatever. And for some reason, he's not really clear about his evil plans. And they seem to change an awful lot. And basically, whatever the magical MacGuffin is that he wants to get, the guys are already on their way. And he's obviously just never heard of these things until the heroes go and find them.
Of course.
Yeah, because they'll be like, we found the thing. And he's going to be like, the thing is the power that I need.
Oh, that thing. I need that.
Yeah, and then it winds
Why didn't I think of that before?
Yeah, exactly. And then it winds... Or they'll show up at a place where he conveniently is trying to get something else unbeknownst to them or him. And it's like, we better stop this guy then. And it's like, well, okay.
This sounds a lot like Digimon. Like, that's all I'm getting a lot of Digimon vibes right now.
Well, yeah. It's very Digimon. It does have some classic D&D monsters in it, if for watching for no other reason than that. Like, the second episode has a beholder in it, and it's got Tiamat, who's a thing, and it's got orcs, and it's got bullywugs, and it's got pixie dragons and all sorts of other shit, and it's like, okay, and dwarves. Dwarves are bitches in this show. Like, they're just always a prisoner of something. They're never doing anything. They're just always being enslaved.
I see. I would have more understanding about what you're talking about if I ever played D&D.
No, those weren't really directed at you. Those were directed saying, these are things that exist in the book, because this show is based off of Advanced D&D Edition 1, or at least I assume it is, based on the year that coincides with the show's production. Because Edition 1 ran from 79 to 88 or something, I think. And the show takes place in 85, so it must be. But it's also got some really wacky stuff. There's other humans that occasionally get pulled in from the other world, and they always get to go home, but the other kids don't get to go home. Yeah, well, because usually they sacrifice the way to get home so they can get home, Which is the thing that Jack would totally do. But It happens a lot with these guys. Like, there's another little girl that gets pulled in, and it's like, oh, I have dreams of the future. I've seen all of you outside here. And then they, like, yeah, and they, like, send her home. And then there's another kid that gets, like, pulled under his bed into a monster world where, like, an evil demon thing is preventing everyone's clock from going to 12 o'clock. It doesn't matter. Just trust me. And then, like, they rescue them, and then, like, Alibaba is there, and his daughter's been stolen, but they find her, too, and then they all disappear, and that kid goes back, but they know that kid, and they're like, oh my god, tell our parents we're here. And he's like, nah, it's a dream, you're fine. And then he disappears like an asshole. And it's just the weirdest. Oh,
Did you
and
like
this
it?
show has an actual goddamn Nazi in it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the evil guy, Vesner, I think that's his name. The evil dude
Okay.
was trying to change history on Earth to get rid of the kids in this world by making sure they were never born. So he's
That's not a good idea.
no, well,
That's a bad idea.
So he steals a jet plane and the pilot from the quote-unquote modern era, and then he steals the Nazi from the end. Well, he took it from 1945, which is way too late by the way, but he takes a Nazi fighter from that time period and basically says, I will give you this jet plane to go win the World War II with. Yeah. But of course,
Okay.
but A, the kids get to the Nazi first, and B, the power of truth, justice, and the American way prevents the Nazi from being a bad guy, because actually he was one of those Nazis that wanted to defect the entire time. He didn't want to be a Nazi. So
Yeah, I mean-
luckily, this moron has the power of time travel, but didn't grab an evil Nazi.
Yeah, no kidding. Why wouldn't he just grab another one then? Like,
Because
this one didn't work out.
Adam,
Stab.
No, because Adam, this guy took the jet plane from this guy and pretended he was going to go back, but actually shot lasers at the portal, because this plane had lasers, by the way, and shot lasers at the portal that blew it up so that no more time travel. And conveniently, that teleported all the people he stole from the time thingy back to their original times, which includes a samurai and a Viking and a Civil War guy, as well as an astronaut.
What the fuck is
Yeah,
this movie? What?
Exactly.
What?
Yes. It's amazing. It's so great. It's oh my god, it's the best.
That actually sounds really entertaining.
It
Like really
kind
weird
of,
and kind of
honestly,
dumb, but
it is in a weird. If you just kind of look at it like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like He-Man, I imagine probably is nowadays.
Mhm.
If you're just looking for, like, 80s cartoons to watch, you're probably better off with, like, He-Man or Thundercats or Captain Planet or something, but
sure.
if you've exhausted those things, or you like D&D enough, give it a shot. It's okay.
It's fun.
All right, but I want to talk about the characters.
okay.
All right, so the thief girl, who I love, by the way, she's the cutest thing on earth, and I absolutely adore her. She has like
Yeah.
the least important screen time. She does
Aw.
nothing of importance the entire show. In fact, her only solo character episode, where they always get separated from the group and do their own thing. She basically like gives the Ring of Power to Sauron. And
Wait,
that's
say what?
Lord of the Rings.
She gives
Adam.
What? Well, I know Lord of the Rings. I don't know what you're. What?
Her only episode, she finds a girl who's trapped, and she's like, I need my Ring of Power to do the thing. And she's like, I'll get it for you. And then she gets it for her, and then it turns out that girl was evil all along.
Oh.
Whoops.
Oh. I was like kind of phasing out for a second, then I come back and you were like, give her the power of Sauron, and I was like, what?
Oh my god. Well, first of all,
Sorry,
it's good to know
that's
that you
my bad.
pay attention when I talk.
I usually pay attention.
Get off your phone, Adam.
I was not on my phone. I was closing my eyes because I had a headache. Get over yourself, Steve.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, even though she's the best, she's not that good. Then we have the Ranger, who is like basically the Leonardo of the group. He's like a good guy for good guys' sake, but he's the only one that actually
boring.
gets
I
it.
don't like
He's
those
the only one
kinda
that gets
characters.
anything done, though.
Yeah, I get it, but he's boring.
Yeah.
I hate those kinds. Those kind of characters that it's just like I am the most generic protagonist imaginable.
I mean, he is,
like, it's just
but
like,
for this kind of show, he fits right in because it's D&D. It's good versus evil,
Yeah, fine.
Then he's the Ranger. We have the Acrobat, who I had to actually look. I had to look her up. Acrobat was a class option in first edition. It's not anymore, but it was at the time.
Really?
And,
oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it's not even available anymore.
No, it's not. It's not a thing anymore.
That's weird. Okay.
I had to look it up. But so she's black. She's the only non-white character.
Well, for the 80s,
it was
that's
the
kind of
80s.
Impressive.
I thought it was hilarious that the Nazi shook hands with her when he was introduced, but it's like, okay, well, I guess we can't be like actual Nazis. But whatever, let's not worry about that.
Yeah, shh, don't worry about
Yeah,
it. Shut
so
up.
she doesn't really do anything either except get a love interest who I swear to God was Prince. He looks just like Prince. It wasn't him, but I'm pretty sure it was him, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then, of
Yeah.
course, he gets teleported home because, I don't know, everybody else gets to but them.
Because tragedy.
Because
Steve,
tragedy,
that's why.
yes. Most of them get a love interest that disappears at one point or another.
Of course.
Yeah,
God.
usually within that episode.
Yeah, I know how this kind of stuff. I watched Digimon. Like, I get it. It's like every time anything like huge and like game changing shows up, it's like, well, that's gonna be gone by the end of the episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Because most episodes, with the exception of like 2, have nothing to do with each other. They could happen entirely independently of each other. They could include entirely different casts, and it wouldn't change a thing. But okay, next is the Barbarian. He's like 10 years old. He's really annoying, and he sucks a lot of the time.
that again sounds like Digimon, because Digimon had the young kid in it, and I always hated him. I can't something with a T. I can't think of his name.
Is it Theodore?
No,
Is it Timmy?
it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Okay, well,
but he was annoying too. I don't like the young, like, oh, it's my little brother. He
yes,
came along with
exactly,
us.
Exactly.
It's like, ah, fuck
well, his
this
name
shit.
is Bobby, for the record.
Ugh.
I remember his name because they had to say it a lot. But he sucks.
Bobby!
Yeah, he sucks. His love interest is the girl that sees the future.
How does the 10-year-old have a love interest?
She's also
How
10.
Does that... Oh, okay. It's a little bit better.
Yeah,
but
it's not
still.
as weird. Although he does specifically say at one point, "Ew, I don't like girls," in a previous episode because there was a girl
but
monster.
It's like,
I understand.
That's like a thing when you're 10.
I know.
It's like, you don't like girls.
I know. I get it, Adam. But at the same time, it's like, why would you bother putting this dialogue in if you're just gonna undo it? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The wizard, who is bad at most things.
Yeah, you talked about him. He
Yeah.
can occasionally do something amazing, but usually does nothing at all.
Okay, basically, the first thing that happens in the show, not the first, I think it's actually the second episode, I don't know. They meet Merlin, like actual Merlin, from like King Arthur lore.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "I'm gonna stick around and be your apprentice." And spoiler alert, that wasn't really Merlin. Merlin's been dead. That was the bad guy in disguise. But it doesn't matter. So that was basically the most important thing that he did, other than saving the people from the Jack and the Beanstalk giant, which he caused by putting them there on accident because of his shit magic. And saving some pixie dragons from because, I don't know, one of them thought he was cute. That's all he's really accomplished. Because most of the things he does, because I told you his has a hat that casts spells, yeah?
Yeah,
So basically what he does is he takes off his hat, and he says some magical words that he absolutely makes up. He's like, smalkadoo, nickadoo, mickadaboo, and then he makes like a rhyme out of it, to like, give these something to bad to do or something, and then like a gag gift will pop out of his hat, and it sometimes saves the day and sometimes it doesn't. Like, they were lost one time and like a road map of Pittsburgh popped out, and it's like, oh, that's hilarious, hat, but not particularly helpful. But he's not great.
Funny.
And personally, I'm a wizard main myself, but he's a bad wizard.
So you're insulted because you know how it should work.
Yes, I wanted to like him, but I just couldn't do it. I guess my favorite character is the Ranger, I guess. If not for the fact that the Thief is the best, but Ranger's the only one that gets things done, so I guess, And then last but not least is the Cavalier, who goes back and forth between being the best and the worst character. Because he's like the guy on the team, because every one of these teams has to have one where he's like really self-serving and really, I don't give a shit about everybody, He runs away from most fights, and he opens the Pandora's boxes all the time when he's not supposed to, that kind of shit.
He's kind of like the bad boy of the group.
No, he's the moron of the group. He's
the moron.
No, he's not doing it because no one could tell me what to do. He's doing it because I decided I wanted to do this.
That's even better.
Yeah. The only redeeming quality about him is he's the quippiest, and he occasionally has some good one-liners. It's like, good sarcastic quip. Sometimes. Most of the time he's insufferable, but sometimes he pulls it off. And most tragedies, basically, the best thing he did, or actually by best I mean the worst, is he opened up a box that basically signaled the doom of all eternity to the plane of death, or whatever. And then they had to go, and then Dungeon Master had to show up and use up all their magic and his own, and he was about to die to save them from being murderated by this thing. And they had to go to the underworld to replenish his power because this fucker opened a box he wasn't supposed to.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Dungeon Master had the audacity to blame the Ranger for it because the Ranger didn't explicitly tell him not to do it. Because
what the fuck?
Well, okay, Ranger's like the leader, I guess, but
yeah, I guess, but like that's a bunch of fucking shit.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty stupid. And then Ranger's like, well, I guess my bad, but it's like, no, Ranger, not your bad. Cavalier's bad.
Ugh.
But whatever. So yes. Also, this show did not have a last episode. It was actually canceled.
Aw.
Yes.
That sucks.
Yes.
So you never know how they get home.
Yeah, you
like
actually don't know if they get home or not. I mean, I guess technically you do, because the lady used her future sight that one episode and saw them home, so they do. But
you
apparently,
just don't know how or when.
Yes, apparently, literal millions of D&D fans wanted this show to have a conclusion. So the guy who wrote it actually did write an ending. It just never got made into an episode. The script is available, but there's no episode to go with it. So I guess you could just read it and find out what happens.
Have you read it?
No, but I listened to somebody read it.
Oh, well, that kind of counts, sort of.
I listened to it in a radio drama format where there was a narrator and they just had the voice actors talking when he wasn't narrating. I mean, it was interesting.
So they actually did they have the original voice actors?
They had one of the original voice actors, which I will admit was very aggravating. But whatever, I got the ending, and the ending is also inconclusive. Spoiler alert, the bad guy was actually just tainted by evil and not actually bad, but, And the, the portal to get home or whatever was like, Dungeon Master was like, oh, you could go home, or there's lots of adventures to have still. And then there's like, and the kids thought about their most important decision yet in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, but I know they go home. Like...
Yeah, I don't like that as an ending. I mean,
yeah.
It's more conclusive than however the hell it was before,
yeah.
But still, it's like open-ended, and it's like, that's not an ending.
Yeah, not strictly speaking. I mean, technically the villain is done, and, I mean, Tiamat stopped being a villain after, like, the third episode. Like, she shows up, like, one more time.
That's the dragon?
Yeah, that's the dragon. Tiamat is the only thing that the bad guy's afraid of. So they kind of had to weaponize Tiamat against him one time.
That's actually super awesome.
Yeah, well, the Ranger kind of went off the deep end because they got pissed, and their baby unicorn that they have, because they have a baby unicorn by the by, its name is Uni,
What the fuck?
yeah. They first 10 seconds of the show, there's a unicorn joining the party, and everyone's just like, oh, okie dokie then, got a unicorn, pal.
We have a unicorn, guys.
Yeah, basically.
His name is Uni. Be nice. Okay.
Also, it can teleport,
thanks,
but they seem to have forgotten that aspect because they only use it once. But let's not worry about that. So, yes, Ranger's like, fuck this guy, let's just go kill him. And they were like, I don't know. And then the Dungeon Master's like, you have to go find the sacred bauble of whatchamacallit. And he's like, no, fuck that. How do we find Tiamat and how we have it kill this guy? And Dungeon Master's like, oh, shit. Okay, well, you can do it, but you'll feel bad. And he's like, yeah, okay, thanks. And then they go there to the Dragon Boneyard or wherever, where Tiamat apparently lives. And they were like, yo, Tiamat, help us kill this guy. And she's like, your weapons are more powerful here. Yeah, she talks like Bane. It's really weird. And actually, well, because she has 5 heads.
You were born in the magic.
Well, she has 5 heads, so all her voices are talking at once, but there's like one of them that's higher, and it's like, whoa, I will bring him here for you to fight. And then they like totally kick his ass. And then Ranger was about to dome him one with a magic arrow, but then he was like, I can't do it. And then he like releases him instead. And then Dungeon Master's like, I knew you couldn't do it. And it's like, okay, well, whatever, bro. Just saying, all your problems could be solved. And spoiler alert, we find out in the last episode, the finale one, that also the bad guy is actually Dungeon Master's son.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's not... You can't just throw that on it right at the end.
Yeah, apparently you can, though.
No, though. You can't do that.
Yes,
okay.
In the opening thing, Dungeon Master's like, that's the force of evil. It's like, yeah, but he's your kid, though. You feel like you'd be more upset about it. And, like, okay, there's a little bit of foreshadowing. Like, one time, that the dungeon master actually knows the guy, like he's upset about something. He basically pulls like a Luke teaching Kylo. He's like, "Oh, he's my greatest regret that I fucked this up," you know? And yeah, and
you're like,
yep,
okay.
Yep.
Way to be mysterious about it,
Exactly.
dickwad.
I don't like that the dungeon master's in the show. I don't like that he's a character in the show. He shouldn't be. DMs are not characters. They're not like in the world. Right. So I don't know why they felt the need to do that.
Because otherwise you can't have a dungeon master, I guess. I don't know.
But like they don't need one. Like this is Lord of the Rings doesn't have one. This is just like a fantasy adventure. They didn't need this.
Dude, you know what'd be super cool?
What's that?
If you find if at the end of the series they like defeated the villain and then they like met the dungeon master and he was like controlling everything the entire time.
I mean, that'd be pretty wild, but they don't have to because he shows up in the fucking title card. He's just there all the time. And people seem to know him. They seem to know Dungeon Master as a character. They're like, "Oh, it's Dungeon Master. Hey, what's up, Dungeon Master?" Which I guess is his name, that he doesn't have a real name. But it's like, okay, so like he's familiar in the world. Everyone seems to know of him, and he's like kind of all powerful. But like he doesn't do anything. I'm wondering what his purpose is in the world. You know?
I mean, I'm guessing it's something like he's like a, what's the word I'm trying to find here? He is a passive person. Like he's a leader. He's like a sage. He's a person who you go to for advice.
No. Okay,
you know
that's,
I mean?
Yeah, I guess. But like he's kind of all powerful, and basically he just leads these kids to whatever he wants them to do, instead of just doing it. Like I'm just wondering, like what narratively, like what before there were these kids there, what was his job? You know, like what did he do as Dungeon Master? Because in one of the other episodes, Cavalier is doing his thing where he bitches about everything. And Dungeon Master, and he's like, I could be a better Dungeon Master than you. And they pull a Bruce Almighty where he's like, okay, then you be Dungeon Master for a day. And then they do that. And he just makes him Dungeon Master for a day. And then that guy has all the power. And I mean,
what is the power? What can he do?
Exactly, he can do anything. But they actually add a caveat to that where it's like, okay, the first thing he does is he like makes water. And then the Dungeon Master's like, whoop, never mind. And he's like, okay, if you make it water here, you take water from somewhere else. And it's like, oh, okay, so you can't actually do anything. You can just move shit. Okay, got it. Which I thought about, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, because later, he he uses the magic to like lift them off the ground on a big platform or whatever. And it's kind of like, okay, so what part of the world is that messing with then? Am I taking the gravity from somewhere else or something? Like, I don't... Or am I doubling gravity? I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, that seems
too hard.
It seems like a victimless crime unless you actually make something appear. But whatever. So yes, I don't know what Dungeon Master's job is. But that whole episode kind of feels like an allegory for players complaining about the DM being a bad DM. Because because the entire time... It's like, hey, you just got this DMing power. You can't expect to be good at it the first time. I mean, it's going to take a lot of practice. And it's like, oh, I've been DMing a long time. Are you sure you don't want me to just take over? And it's kind of like, no, I can handle it. Wow, this is a lot tougher than I thought it was. I'm sorry for misjudging how hard your job is. I'm sure that wasn't the intended purpose, but that's how I took it because I am a DM, and it fucking sucks.
You're a DM?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Hard.
That's awesome.
No one is ever appreciative of all the work I do. It's so
Dude,
hard.
no, I've never even played Dungeons and Dragons, and I know how hard that shit is. That's like really difficult.
Thank you, Adam. Play my game sometime. Yeah. You can just sit there and compliment me and how good of a job I'm doing.
I'll try. Sure, that'll be fun.
Okay.
All right, you have anything else to say on this?
It's fine. It's weird though. But if you don't like Dungeons and Dragons, I don't think I'd recommend it. But if you do, or you just want to watch a really hokey '80s cartoon, then by all means have at it, man, because it's hokey as hell.
All right then.
Also, there's Care Bears.
I'm gonna do my humble opinion now. So, recently, a few months ago, I picked up Grand Theft, or what am I? No, that's not it. Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid 5. I had Grand Theft Auto 5 in my head. That's why. Okay. So a few months ago, I picked up Metal Gear Solid 5, and I have not finished it even close. But I kind of just want to talk about my experience playing the beginning of the game and my thoughts on the series so far. So I've always wanted to play Metal Gear Solid, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've always
Have
wanted.
you played any of them before this one?
I tried playing 4 way back when,
Mm-hmm.
but I like started playing it and I was bored and I just kind of fell out of it and then I rented it and then I gave it back.
Ah, okay.
And I never played any other ones. So I started up this game. And I knew going in I wasn't really going to understand what was going on, and I was okay with that. Like, I was just like, I'm just going to try
fair, people who have played them all probably still don't understand what's going on. That lore is like molasses thick.
Okay, so I start out, and I'm in a hospital bed, and I was like, oh, okay. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I thought I remembered seeing like a news article talking about how there was like a prequel game to Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes.
And how you died at the end of it, or
yes.
like you got blown up or something.
Yeah, you were in a helicopter.
I had that in my
and
head
exploded.
somewhere. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I read that somewhere a long time ago. So I was like, oh right, okay. So he like was in a helicopter and he exploded. Fine. Okay, cool. So I'm playing the, and like it's a super long thing where you're sitting in a hospital bed and you're sitting around and nothing's happening, and then like this doctor shows up, and then and eventually after this bunch of bullshit of just talking to you and shit, the doctor is just like, okay, so we need to change your appearance because you're wanted. You're wanted by some bad guys, and we need to make sure that you're safe. And I was like, okay, sure, that makes sense to me. I'm following this so far. So then I'm brought to this character creation screen, and I was like, okay, if I'm gonna be, I normally don't bother. I usually just kind of pick a generic face and go with it. But this time I was like, no, I want to like actually try. So I spent 30 minutes making my person. He was really cool. He had like this cool shaved head, and he had like a blind eye, and like he looked really cool, and I was really proud of him, and I really liked him. And then I am done with the character creation, and right before he's about to what's the word? Put me to sleep or whatever.
Anesthesiate.
Anesthesiate. Thank you. Right before he puts me to sleep, he is shot, and he's dead. And then all this other crazy shit happens, and I never get to play as that person that I made.
I know.
I spent 30 fucking minutes making this fucking character, and then I'm just like,
goddamn Kojima.
Oh, you were fucking with me the whole time. And I was just like, great, awesome. And I started playing it, and like the controls are so annoying because like your dude is all sleepy because he hasn't moved in 7 years or whatever. So he can't walk. He's trying to like fucking flail over to like a door, and then I had to go. I had to go do something at that point. So I left, and I didn't play the game for like a month because I was kind of pissed about the whole character creation thing. Then finally I kind of was like, nah, that was a cool twist. It's fine, whatever. I'll deal with this. So then last week I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this game again. I'm gonna do this. So I get into the game, and I'm still in that hospital, and I am escaping with this other patient, and there's like all this crazy shit going on where there's like these like shooter dudes everywhere. There's like this military force that's like, I'm assuming trying to get me. That's kind of what it seemed like. They're here for me, and
well, you are Snake,
running,
one of the snakes. Whatever
and
snake
so I'm
you
running
are.
around. I'm running around. I have like a fucking. My arm is gone, and like I'm trying to like not die. And then there's this point where I'm laying on the ground next to a bunch of dead bodies, and there's people coming, so I can't move at all. And then they turn me over, and they can see that I'm breathing, and I like move my arm a little bit, and it's just. And this is after they spent like 10 minutes, like they shot every single body in this hallway. They just walk up to a body, shoot it, walk up to a body, shoot it. And then they get to my body, and for whatever reason they decide to flip me over, check if I'm breathing, watch me move, wait a few seconds, and then this fucking fire guy shows up. This dude made out of fire just appears at the end of the hallway.
Hideo goddamn Kojima.
Well, I'm kind of ignoring the fire dude. I'm kind of pissed it took them that long to shoot me. Because, like, they shot everyone else immediately. Why wouldn't they just shoot me immediately without even bothering to check if I'm alive? I know plot armor, but it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Whatever.
But that doesn't matter. You're playing
Whatever.
a Metal Gear game.
So this fucking fire dude shows up at the end of the hallway, and they're just like, oh shit! They start shooting at him, and then he like absorbs their bullets and shoots it back to them, and they're all
like
fucking
fire
dead.
does, yes.
Yeah, yeah, because that's how that works. And they're all fucking dead. And then me and my friend with his face covered because he had surgery or something. I don't fucking know. Me and my friend are just like, we gotta go. We run to the end of the hallway, but the fire dude is still coming towards us. And we're just like, oh shit, what do we do? Excuse me. And then my friend shoots the water main above the fire dude's head, and then the fire dude's just like, because water is on him apparently. He can absorb bullets and shoot them back, but a little sprinkling of water and he's down for the count. So he disappears, and we're just like, wow, that was crazy. And then we move, and then we continue along. There's a point where I get a gun, and I'm terrible at this game, by the way. I got this gun, and I guess you're supposed to do this one section stealthily, but I tried to do that, and but I accidentally ran too quickly, and they saw me. So then I had this big firefight, and it was awful, and I ran out of ammo, and then I had to run to one of the dead bodies of someone I killed so I could grab their ammo so I could finish off the last like 2 fucking guys because I'm terrible at this game. I've never played Metal Gear Solid before.
Obviously, you never played a stealth game before. Running is not the optimum way of getting around.
I really fucked up there. So I learned my lesson. It was fine. I didn't die or anything. So, and then this tank plows through the front door for seemingly no reason. I have no idea why the tank came through the front door.
Yeah, get used to that phrase.
And then the fire dude showed up. And the fire dude was coming after me, and I was just like, oh shit. So I of course do the logical thing, and I run to the exit to the hole that the tank came through. And then the fire dude's chasing after me. He nearly kills me. Me and my friend get into a ambulance, and we're driving away. And then the fire dude is apparently throwing cars at me somehow.
Like fire does, sure.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how that works, but fire dude is throwing cars, trying to take me out. We're driving. We think we got away. The thing crashes, and then we meet. Actually, she showed up a couple times earlier, but I had forgotten about it until just now. We meet this girl who was in a straitjacket, but not a tied straitjacket. It's so she has she has long sleeves, and the ends of the sleeves are on fire, and she apparently has telekinesis powers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I guess maybe it was her. Maybe it was her who was throwing all of the shit at us. Maybe I don't fucking know. So she's there, and then this is after our ambulance crashed. So she's suddenly there, and then there's a helicopter right behind her. And the helicopter's coming towards us. It's they start shooting at us. We're gonna die. Oh shit! But then the straitjacket telekinesis fire girl summons a giant fire whale that just appears out of nowhere. A fire whale shows up out of nowhere and takes out the helicopter. And then I was just kind of sitting there I have no idea what I just witnessed. And then, before I even have a chance to process that, the fire dude shows up again, but this time he's riding a giant fiery alicorn that is a Pegasus that has a unicorn horn, and he's flying on it. And he shows up right where the whale was, and he's just like, rah! And then this other dude shows up, who I don't even know who the fuck he is, and he's just like, get on the horse! Get on my horse! So then I get on the dude's horse.
My horse is amazing.
Yeah. So I get on the horse. He gives me a shotgun, and then the fire alicorn riding guy is running around behind me. I don't know why he's not flying anymore, but he's not flying anymore. Now he's on the ground, and his horse no longer has wings, but though it still does have the unicorn horn. And every time I'm supposed to shoot him with a shotgun every time he gets close, so I'm doing that. I'm shooting the shotgun. It takes 5 fucking minutes of me just oh, he got close, shoot him with a shotgun. Oh, he got close, shoot him with it's fucking boring. I'm just yes, I get it. There's fire dude riding a unicorn behind me, but the gameplay is boring. All I'm doing is shooting him with a shotgun. And then we escape somehow, or like the fire dude. I don't remember what happens at that point. The fire dude, we like lose the fire dude somehow, and then the guy whose name is Ocelot, I am now told.
Yes, I know that name.
Yeah, I see. In my brain, I was just like, I should know who this is. I recognize that as a name from Metal Gear Solid, but I have no idea who he is.
Yep.
But I'm just like, Ocelot. That's a name that I should know.
It goes with the animal theme.
Yeah. So Ocelot is just like, hey, so you remember that one guy who you were trying to save? And I was just like, no. And he's just like, well, anyway, he got abducted by some Russians, and you have to go to Afghanistan to save him. And I was like, okay. And then through like a montage of us traveling to Afghanistan, I get a metal arm, I get a robot hand, and then I show up in Afghanistan. And it's a big open world, and I have a horse, and I have to go and rescue some dude whose name I don't know or care about.
Pretty much.
And I played a little bit after that point where I kind of just wandered around. I snuck into this one base thing, and I was doing really well actually. And, like, no one saw me. It was awesome. I got into this like little cubby area, and then I was like, oh, you found some intel, and it was like 1 of 6, and it was like, now you know what building that one guy is in. And I was just like, well, that's really all the information I need. I don't really care about anything else. So
yeah,
then
that's
I go
true,
there.
I guess.
So then I go,
that kind of reminds me of the Assassin's Creed 1 getting the clues, for the guy.
Yeah,
it's kind of
just
like
like
I know
that.
what the guy's name is and I know where he is, right? Yes, but you need a third thing. No, I don't.
It's a lot like that actually. So it's just like, yeah, so I know where the dude is, I know what building he's in, and I know where the building is. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't need any more intel. I'll be fine, thank you. So I go there, I sneak in, I find the dude. I was so stealthy. I was taking dudes out silently, and it was awesome. And then I grab the dude, I break him out of prison. We're walking along, I'm trying to get him. Okay, I falsely assumed that the level would end when I got to him, and then I was just like, oh no, I have to extract him. Shit. So I'm trying to extract him, but I can't hide as well anymore because I'm carrying this fucking dude with me. So then I get seen, and then we both get shot to death. And I was just like, ah, shit. I had to redo that. Like, I really fucked that up. And, but then I had to go again, and I have not played it since. So that's my entire experience so far with the game. And in my humble opinion, what the actual fucking hell is this game? There's fire people riding unicorns
I'll tell you what
with
it is.
wings.
It's Hideo Goddamn Kojima's magnum opus.
I have no fucking idea of anything that's happening at any point in the game. Like, I'm just like, okay, so fire dude with unicorn with wings, girl who has telekinesis powers, and also you're going to Afghanistan now.
Yeah, what part of that was
what
unclear?
What the fuck is happening? Like what? Why do people love this series so much? I don't get it. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad. It's just nonsensical. Like, there's nothing. What the fuck is this?
Well, okay. I mean,
oh my god.
The coolest parts about Metal Gear are definitely not the story. It's all the little shit. Like, okay, how much do you actually know about Metal Gear?
Basically nothing.
Okay.
Basically nothing.
Like a lot. Okay. Do you know who Psycho Mantis is?
No
okay.
idea.
Psycho Mantis is a psychic bad guy from Metal Gear Solid shit. I don't know, 2 or something. I don't remember. It really doesn't matter. I'm not that familiar with him either. But he can read your mind, and he knows when you attack him what inputs you're putting. So do you know how you beat him, Adam?
Well, how?
You take out your controller and you put it in the second port. Then he can't read your mind anymore.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a thing. No.
No. But it gets better. In Metal Gear Solid, I don't know, 3, Snake Eater, I think it's called. There's an old man there, and he's old and dying.
Is he Snake?
The Pain, I think it's called the Pain. If you enter the boss fight with him, and save the game and turn it off and wait real life amount of time, like 3 days or something, and then turn it back on, he'll just be dead. He died in the woods. And you could come across his dead body there, being dead from old age.
How? I don't understand.
Or there's a really specific scene early on where you can actually shoot that guy with a sniper from really far away, and he'll just be dead, and then the boss fight never happens. There's like one point in the game, really far away, where you can do that, and then the boss fight just never happens. It's awesome. Doesn't make any sense. But it's...
Okay, that's actually kind of cool, but I just don't understand. I don't understand anything that's going on in this game.
Or there's this one time where this girl member of your team is disguised as one of the bad guys, and she tells you to look at her ass, so you look at her ass, and then that's how you identify her later, by looking at her ass, so you know which person she's disguised as, because she has a sweet shapely rump.
What?
Yeah.
Like, I can't. I don't understand. What?
Yeah, man.
There's Metal Gear Solid and me. I am so confused. Like this goes against everything I understand about video games. Like you like they're just constantly breaking rules, doing whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah, that's what that Kojima dude is all about, dude.
There's fire unicorns and giant ass fire whales getting summoned by some lady in a straight jacket. And now you're going to Afghanistan, Snake. It's good to have you back. Like, what the... No! Like, I want so many explanations for what's going on. I
should have played all the other games, then.
I demand satisfaction. I have no idea.
Should have played every other game,
anything.
Then.
Like, I'll probably continue playing it, but I probably will take, like, an extra week or so to just kind of mentally prepare myself for the nonsensical
the longer you
barrage.
wait, the more surprising it's going to be when you go back in. You might as well just tear through it and just absorb all the crazy in one sitting.
Oh my god, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, in my humble opinion, it's really fun, but completely and utterly nonsensical. Like zero idea, absolutely anything that's happening.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay. In my humble opinion, D&D cartoon is weird.
Oh,
forgot that part.
Okay, so okay, that's it. That's my entire spiel for the moment. I have to play it more before I have anything more to say about it. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna move on to random encounters, and random encounters is where Steve and I sort of randomly pick two characters and have them go up against each other in a random situation, a contest, if you will, and we decide who would win in this, with these two weird characters from, going up against each other in some bizarre competition. It's not official. It's just for fun. It's just two nerds talking about who we think would win off the top of their heads. No research is done beforehand. We just kind of talk about it. It's fun. It's a good time. Don't worry about it. So I am going to pick X-23 because I like X-23.
Alrighty.
She's cool.
I actually already picked mine out of the bag before we even started, just to save some time. So
sure.
I got Yugi and the Pharaoh for my first one.
Okay.
Okay. And the contest is who has a better enemy?
X-20. I don't know of any enemies that X-23 has, like, specific to her. Do you? I'm not familiar enough with her comics.
Weapon X program, I guess.
But Yugi and the Pharaoh have
Kaiba.
Awesome. Yeah, Kaiba and
Merrick
and that one Pegasus guy.
And Pegasus, yeah, and evil Bakura.
Yep. I think Yu-Gi-Oh wins this one.
Yes.
I like X-23.
Yugi wins everything.
God damn it! I love X-23, but I don't know any of her specific villains. Like,
I don't actually really either. But I know all of Yugi's, and one or two of them are okay. Well, okay,
Fair,
Merrick is not a good villain, and really, I mean, Bakura is not that great of a villain either. Really, only Pegasus and Kaiba are good villains.
And Kaiba is debatable as a villain. He's more of like a frenemy.
He's a lot more of a rival. In the most recent movie, in like the 10-year anniversary since the show ended movie that I totally saw,
of course,
Kaiba actually accepts Yugi as being as good as the Pharaoh, and there's a modicum of respect there. So, in fact,
nice.
He even throws a tag duel against the bad guy, so Yugi can keep playing, because he knows Yugi can win, which has never happened before, because he's always a twat like that.
Dick.
I know, he is a huge dick, but not is. Anywho, so yes, Yugi wins because Yugi and Pharaoh is best.
Okay. So then, next one I'm gonna pick is... Oh, I gotta do it. Dora the Explorer, of course.
Okay.
Only the greatest news story of my lifetime.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. I got Chuck Green.
Who's that?
That's the guy from Dead Rising 2.
Oh, okay.
The guy with the lumpy face and the daughter who plays Mega Man on our PSP.
I have not played that.
Oh, well, you missed out because that was a good game.
I've heard it's good, but
okay.
I have not played it.
All
anyway.
right. So the challenge is who has the most overpowered weapon or item?
Well, I mean, you're just like a dude who has a bunch of different weapons he uses to fight zombies.
Yes, but he also handymans them together, 2x4 plus lawnmower equals, like, lawnmower blades on a thing you swing at people. I mean, he's pretty clever about them. They're awfully deadly things.
But I have
the backpack of infinite power.
A talking backpack that can carry anything, and a map that can lead me anywhere.
That's very true.
So
and also you have the ability to stop your things from being stolen simply by saying so.
Swiper, no swiping. Ah!
Yeah. Dang it.
It's over.
Basically.
I don't know. What do you think? I mean,
I gotta give it to Dora purely because of the infinite power of the map and backpack.
Yeah, damn straight. Yeah. Yes.
Chuck can tie a machete to a broom handle, but he doesn't have an infinite power backpack.
Chuck is limited by real world things. Dora can do practically anything.
Not really though, because a lot of his stuff is like like amplifier plus guitar equals literal brain melting guitar solos.
Oh.
Which
doesn't really.
But infinite powered backpack, I think. Okay.
Yay! I win.
You did.
Yes.
All right, tiebreaker round.
Okay. I gotta pick a good one. I wanted to, maybe something with Justice League, but I've done that so many times. I'm gonna go with Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek.
You didn't want to do Snake?
I don't know enough about Snake to be able to do it.
Oh, that's a shame because I got Solid Snake for mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jean-Luc Picard.
See, this would have been difficult because if you were using the Snake from the game you were playing, you would have been Big Boss, which is Venom Snake. I'm playing a Solid Snake who is a clone of Big Boss. So, that would have been...
What the fuck?
Yeah. But a hyper-aging clone because, clones age super fast.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Okay. The contest is who is lamer? Oh, jeez.
Oh, whoa. That's really hard.
Yeah.
Jean-Luc Picard is like the best Star Trek captain.
That's
like,
true.
He's awesome, and he's played by goddamn Patrick Stewart.
He is played by goddamn Patrick Stewart. But at the same time,
Solid Snake is awesome too.
Solid Snake is a badass who's filled to the brim with machismo, and also he smokes and has an eye patch. So that's all pretty cool.
I drink Earl Grey tea, hot.
You do. That's true. Well, Solid Snake can use his cigarettes to detect lasers, which, by the way, is the thing you can actually do in Metal Gear Solid. If there's invisible lasers, if you have cigarettes equipped, the smoke will actually reveal the lasers. Bet you didn't know that.
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
And there's ghosts in there.
I'm really torn on this. I would never call Jean-Luc Picard lame.
I wouldn't either.
He's a classy motherfucker who I have nothing but respect for. Like as a character, he's great.
All right, okay, well, let's think of it this way, then.
But Solid Snake is awesome, too.
If you had to go hang out with somebody, who would you less likely to hang out with? Because that would be the lamer person.
Oh, in that case, I would be less likely to hang out with Solid Snake. He's such a dour, down-to-earth, dick. Like, he's just kind of like, yeah, I'm going to go. Do you want to come over here and smoke with me? War never changes. Oh, wait, no, that's the other one. But that's
Call of Duty.
Oh, no, is that Call of Duty? Oh, yeah, that is
probably
Call of Duty.
a lot of things, actually. But
Yeah.
It's definitely from Call of Duty for sure.
And probably Jean-Luc Picard. I would love to hang out with Jean-Luc Picard. We could play piano together and drink some tea.
Does Picard play the piano? I don't remember him
Yes,
playing
he does.
piano.
He has a rollout piano that I don't know why I remember this specific.
Oh yeah,
thing,
he
but
does.
has, like,
He plays. Well, he doesn't play the piano though. He plays the flute. The
oh
flute he
yeah,
got
that's
from
right.
that,
You're right.
from that
I was
civilization
mixing it up.
where they implanted memories in his brain. Yeah, yeah, and then the fire whales. You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna have to give it to Picard too. I'd much rather be hanging out with Picard than I would Solid Snake. I don't think I have
He's such
anything
a
in common with Snake.
Yeah, Picard is such a classy guy who's very good at diplomacy. Solid Snake is like a military badass, but he's not like a friendly guy. Like I gotta give it to Picard.
Killer.
Yeah, yes, that's true. So yay, I win!
Good
yes!
for you, buddy.
Jean-Luc Picard, you are my man. All right.
Now, if it was between Data and Picard, obviously Data wins.
Oh, absolutely. Wait, yes. Because Data is amazing, and I would like to spend time with Data.
I have so many questions for Data.
Why did you die, Data?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good question. Why did you die, Data?
Why did you inflict us upon your shitty copy?
B4 sucks. Data all the way.
Oh my god.
The movies don't count.
All right.
Movies aren't canon.
All right. We are done. So those are the complaints this week. If you can't complain, share it with your friends. Bye.